guys, and welcome to today's Best of Violets video. So I decided to share with you my most favorite violet perfumes because for the last couple of months I've been truly addicted to violets, and my violet obsession, that is the only way I can describe it, started with this bad boy right here, that is a Violet Haze by one of my most favorite indie brands, PERFUMES. But the bad thing about this one is it is discontinued, and that is because it was a limited edition for spring 2019. However, that's such a shame because it made me fall in love with violets, and it's retro but at the same time modern violet aroma that smells to me like royal violets that grow in the Queen's garden inspired me to check out if I have some other violet-centered perfumes in my collection, and I found out that surprisingly I have not that many violet perfumes in my collection, and the most violet-y one is not even mine but Paradox, favorite of my boyfriend from 4160 Tuesdays, that belongs to him. And that's why I decided to check out violet perfumes that are available on the market. And do you know what I found out? I figured out that violet is a very underrated floral note nowadays, which is quite a pity because in my opinion it is very versatile and you can create different perfumes using violet. It just depends on with which other notes you blended. And it is unisex and so amazing, and it's not as popular as rose, tuberose and jasmine that are out there in the majority of modern fragrances. That's why it was quite tricky to find a lot of violet perfumes, but I did that because Yana always does her homework. So what I like about my lists is that they are quite diverse and I have very different violet perfumes. So if you like violet, then this video is gonna be just right for you, because in today's one I have some affordable ones, some very exclusive niche indie perfumes, unisex and feminine violets, but they all are very special. And I would like to know, what is your most favorite violet perfume? Please comment it down below because I'm thinking about making a part 2 of favorite violets, and I might include your favorite in that second part. And if you have any questions regarding perfumes I'll mention today, please don't hesitate and ask me in the comments. And now let's get started talking about Violet Flower, and it's beautiful, like absolutely breathtaking floral powdery aroma that is so gentle and comforting, and I just love it. Oh my goodness, it smells so satisfying and gentle, unlike Violet Leaf that is way more sharp, aggressive and metallic. But as I've told you, Violet Flower is not that popular anymore, and in the 19th century there were a lot of violet-based perfumes, and that was actually one of Napoleon Bonaparte's favorite flowers. So I'm excited to start this video talking about that Paradox that I've already mentioned, because I want to tell you that it has an interesting story, because it was created for a perfume writer who was suffering from anosmia. That means that she couldn't smell a lot of things, she could only recognize some citrusy and violet aromas, and Sarah created a violet perfume for her. And I believe Paradox raises funds for Fifth Sense, the organization for people with damage to their sense of smell or taste, which is actually an amazing concept. And this fragrance is so intense, you have no option not to smell it. And the opening is intense. It smells green, petitgrain in there is right in your face, it goes deeply into your nose, and I like how it settles down, but that requires some time. But if you let it dry down, oh my god, you will be required with this marvelous violet-y and irisy magic. So yeah, my boyfriend enjoys the dry down because it is gentle, it is soft, and it is quite unisex and strong. So if you're looking for a strong green fresh violet, that is definitely Paradox. Remember I've told you that it was quite hard to find violet perfumes? Well, I remember that one of my most favorite brands, Guerlain, likes to work with violet, and I love their powdery style. So I am a lucky owner of their exclusive Meteorites Le Parfum, which was a relaunch of their first Meteorites perfume that was inspired by their legendary Meteorites face powder, and I bought it just a few days ago, and I'm so happy that I did, because even though it smells violety and powdery and you're like, oh yeah, I smelled fragrances like that, this is the one. First of all, it smells like face powder, and I adore powdery perfumes, but at the same time, you guys, it has something so unique to it, and I blame it on the green delicacy in the opening and also exciting green fruity twist of an apple in there. So it is a gentle floral fruity angelic type of fragrance that will make you feel beautiful every time you wear it, and I'm very satisfied with it. It is quite a treasure in my collection right now, and so is their legendary Après Londe that was first launched in 1906, and I own it too. I also bought it with Meteorites, and these two are very different, you guys, because Après Londe opens with a pungent, spicy, almost aldehyde scent. It smells traditionally old-fashioned, and I smell anise in there that reminds me of medicine. And even though the opening is so intense and right in your face and overwhelming and sort of like woo, spicy and crazy, it dries down into a skin scent quite quickly. But if you're looking for some kind of classy powdery violet in the vintage style, Après Londe is one of the best ones I can recommend you. And Guerlain's more mainstream violet offering is of course their famous Insolence, that for some strange reason has never worked out for me, but it is quite popular. And if you're looking for a violet perfume from a designer section, that is one of the best ones. It smells feminine, a bit fruity and quite clean, and I think you can pull it off to many different occasions. Something that is not mainstream, something that is quite exclusive is Violetta from Bhatia Vanitas exclusive collection Parco Palladiano, and my boyfriend fell in love with it, and as you've probably recognized, he loves violets, and I showed him this fragrance. He was madly in love with it, so I needed to buy it for him, and that was a surprise. He opened this perfume for the first time on camera, and you can check out his reaction. But I need to tell you that for me, this is an interesting musky take on a violet note, and in this interpretation, violet smells very sexy, and it has that urine undertone because of musk. My boyfriend disagrees, it doesn't smell urine-like to him, and I know that might sound disturbing, but I mean that in a sexy way. I think musk is quite animalic in here, that's why I can smell something urine-like in here. It is unisex, it is absolutely mind-blowing, enormous sillage, great projection, and it is sort of that signature scent. Of course, now it is my boyfriend's signature scent, and it is a timeless fragrance that is appropriate for all year round. It is special enough to be worn on quite formal occasions, but you can rock it every day if you're ready for some intense musky violets. So you know guys, I have a morning violet and an evening violet, and my morning violet that I like to start my day with is Glam Rose by the brand Le Parfums de Rosine, and I love their bottles. They look royal, and this one is quite innocent first, but you should give it time. So it is about rose and violets. They are a bit juicy but very clean, and there is crispiness of cassis leaf in the opening, some amber seeds and suede for the smoothness, and I like to start my day with it and apply it in the morning because of this luminous energy that it gives me, and it is also pretty quiet, not too offensive. That's why I like it for daytime. And my nighttime violet is simply Jill Sander Touch of Violet, which is an affordable designer fragrance that in my opinion is such an underrated one because it is round and smooth and it has a leathery base, but flowers in there are very gentle. There is a violet leaf and violet flower accord in there, and it is not intense, just softly seductive, and it smells of your worn leathery gloss that you keep in your purse by your lipstick. That's why it is a bit powdery. Now the time has come to share with you one of my most worn violets, and that is Skymning by the Scandinavian indie brand Svensk Parfum, and that is actually a manifestation on the sunset sky and its emotional effect on our lives. And this Swedish house has some interesting fragrances to offer, and Skymning is my favorite because this is a sweet violet that has pomade texture, but it is not candy-like. It's actually so satisfying and pleasant, and every single time I wear it, and I wear it a lot, I receive compliments for it, which I'm excited about. It is strong, but at the same time it is light, and this is one of the best true violet perfumes I know. And if you adore violet and you don't want it to be disturbing, sharp or intense, you just want a perfect violet, Skymning is one of the best unisex one I can recommend you, and I like how universal indeed it is. Alrighty, two next violets are from mind-blowing niche brand Nishane that I adore, and the first one is Viola, which is sort of an hysterical floral symphony that somehow sounds pleasant and addictive. This is an intoxicating floral garden in a bottle. It is all about flowers, and each of them tries to be a leading note, which is crazy, but somehow it smells so pleasant and not disturbing at all. It is dewy, fresh, sweet, and violet in there is quite prominent. But be careful, it might cause an addiction and you might wanna get it once you smelled it. So this is something quite special out there. And their Muscane, which is also a strong one, and it will last you all day, but it is softer than Viola and way more muskier but clean, and I smell a lot of raspberries in here. That's why I would say that is sort of like a queen fragrance, like the playful Marie Antoinette could rock, but somehow it's also very elegant, so you know it's posh enough to be worn by a queen. And I actually really enjoy it because musk in there is so satisfying and gentle and skin-like, but at the same time that is still raspberry violet that this fragrance is about. I think it's universal. I think you can wear it to different occasions. You can wear it throughout the daytime because it's quite inoffensive too. And so let's move to some nighttime violets, and one of them is Vintage Violet by the PERFUMES, which is a botanical house, and to me this smells like wild violets that grow in the forest and are hidden under the woods and plants, so you need to find them first. It is very herbal. This is an herbal violet and it smells mysterious. And if you want some very long-lasting natural perfumes, you should check out this brand because I'm always blown away by the longevity of their perfumes. And another nighttime violet is Slowdance by Violate, which was one of the best releases for me this year. And even though it is not about violet in the first moment, it is definitely about boozy cognac and labdanum and some heady sweet patchouli. Violet is still there, making an illusion of a haze and even some sort of high feeling. Yeah, it will make you high. It's not necessarily super violet, but if you're looking for a violet illusion, for a violet liar, for a lot of booze, and for some sweet and intoxicating patchouli, I recommend you Slowdance for some winter nights, because it will keep you warm and satisfied because of that heady and even high-like effect. But you guys, I need to complete this video with a masterpiece that is called Iris Oa by Sultan Pasha himself. His attar that was an ode and his homage to Iris of the yesteryear from his favorite period of European art and culture, Belle Epoque, will blow your mind every time you smell it, because I am wowed every time I have it on, every time I smell it, because it is about that harmony of all purple notes, you know, but also about honeyed flowers and some gentle spices and peach, because it has that peach skin finish to it, and it even reminds me a bit of a legendary Jacques Fath Iris fragrance, but this one is so beautiful that it will take you to last epochs that were a bit more carefree, and you will be definitely amazed by the beauty of it. And if you want something that is highly complex and extraordinary, and it will please and delight your olfactory senses every time, and others too, because it is super intense, because you know it is attar, it's like perfume of the highest concentration. You should check out that one. You should check out that one. And that completes this video, which I hope you enjoyed watching. And I would like to know which of the mentioned perfumes you're interested in trying, and what are your favorite violet perfumes, because I'm thinking about doing a part 2 of Best of Violets, and I'm looking forward to chat with you. You can also tell me which other note you want me to discuss, and with that being said, if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them. Oh, and check out the description box where I'll leave information about mentioned perfumes, links to the websites where you can find them and learn more about them. And do you know what, guys? I hope that brands will create more violet perfumes in the nearest future, and that is gonna be a big trend. We'll see, maybe that's gonna happen, and I'd be so happy, and hopefully you too, because I miss great violets. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like, share, and ring that bell. And thank you so much for being here with me, and stay tuned, smell good. We'll see each other in the next one. Bye guys!